Hello and welcome back to Mr. Mulher Music. Today we are looking at dotted notes. I want you to be able to identify 6 different note values. You should already know 4. Let's recap them and then we'll look at what dotted notes are and I'll teach you 2 more that you're going to need for today's task. So let's start with a semi-brief. It's worth 4 beats. It looks like a squished circle, and let's remind ourselves of the rests. We did those last time. It is a rectangle that hangs off the 4th line. So remember, we always start from the bottom line when we're counting the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hangs off the 4th line. Next note, hopefully you're knowing these before I've said them, is a minim. It's held for 2 beats. It's a squished circle again. Stems this time, remember? If we're below the middle line, the stems go up. If we're above the middle line, the stems go down. What's our minim rest? Do you remember? Well, it's another rectangle. This time, it's like a top hat for that middle line. And it sticks up above the middle line. Next note, crotchet. Held for 1 beat. We colour in our squished circle this time. And remember which way the stems go. Below the middle line, up. Above the middle line, down. Our rest for a crotchet, do you remember? It's this tricky shape to draw. So that this is how I taught you to remember it. It's a bit like drawing a Z, slightly on its side, and put a C on the bottom. And the last note that we've looked at for now is a quaver. It's worth half a beat. It's our squish circle again, with a stem up the side and a tail. And the rest sits between lines 2 and 4, and looks like that. So what is a dotted note? Well, a dotted note is a note that's had half of its value added to it. Let's explain that by looking at a dotted minim. Here is a dotted minim. You can see it looks exactly the same as a minim, but it's got a dot afterwards. If it's above the middle line, it looks like that. And the rest looks like this. So they're all the same, but they've got a dot afterwards. Now I said it adds half the value. So a normal minim is worth 2 beats. If we add half of its value onto it, we've got 3 beats. So a dotted minim is worth 3 beats. So that's the first thing you need to know. We'll look at one more note. That is the dotted crotchet. Here it is. Dotted crotchet rest. So they look the same, but they've got a dot afterwards. So that means we add half the value. So a crotchet's currently worth 1. If we got a dotted value, we add half of its value. So it's going to be 1.5 beats. Your task today then. Something you've already done, but I'm making it harder by combining all of the different skills that we've learnt so far. So, add the note or the rest. Some activities I'll ask you to draw the note, some I'll ask you to draw the rest. So I'm going to do a bit of both for this one for our example. So you can either write the numbers above or work it out in your head. Let's write the numbers above for our example. So we're in 4/4, 4 beats in a bar. We've got a crotchet worth 1, crotchet rest worth 1, a crotchet worth 1. Which means we need 1 more beat to fill the bar. I'm going to add a rest to this bar. Crotchet rest for 1 beat. Next bar, again, has to add up to 4 beats. What have I got there? Well, I have a dotted minim. How many beats is a dotted minim worth? 3. So remember, a normal minim's worth 2. We add half of its value onto it. We've got 3 beats. We've then got a quaver for half a beat, which means we need to fill in half a beat. This time, I'll draw the note in. My final bar has to add up to 4 beats. We start with a dotted crotchet, 1.5 beats. Remember, we add half the value to a dotted note, followed by a crotchet. So we have 2.5 beats. We need 1.5 beats more to complete the bar. So we need to add a dotted crotchet to complete that bar. So everything adds up to 4. One more example. Add the note or the rest. Here we go. We are in 3/4 this time. First bar, dotted crotchet, 1.5 beats, and a quaver, 1/2 beat. We've got 2 beats in total, so we need to add 1 beat. So we add a crotchet. Next bar, we have a dotted minim. What does that add up to? Well, it already adds up to 3, so we can't add anything. Let's look at the next bar. We've got a quaver, 1/2 beat, then a crotchet, so we've got 1.5 beats, then a quaver, that is 2 beats now, followed by 2 quavers. We've got 3 beats again, so we can't add anything to that bar. Look out, I might try and trick you in your activity today. And then, one more challenge for you is adding bar lines, but I've included rests and all 6 note values in your task, so watch out. So first thing, check your time signature. My example is in 4/4 this time, so everything has to add up to 4. Let's work it out. Now you can either write the numbers above if you want to help you out. I'm going to work this one out in my head. So we start with a crotchet rest, 1 beat. We've then got a dotted minim. So normal minim's worth 2 beats, dotted minim's worth half that value again. That means 3 beats plus the crotchet rest we've already got. We've got our 4 beats. That's where my first bar line goes. Next, I have a minim rest. So we know that's worth 2 beats. Then I've got a crotchet, 1 more beat, 1 more crotchet. We've got our 4 beats, bar line again. Next, we have a dotted crotchet rest. That's 1.5 beats. Then we've got a dotted crotchet. That's another 1.5 beats. So we're up to 3 beats now. We're in 4/4, so it has to add up to 4. So we're going to need to find 1 more beat. Yes, we have a crotchet there. Good. 4 beats. Next, hanging off that 4th line, semi-breve rest. Adds up to 4, so it has to be a bar line. And finally, we've got a semi-breve. Semi-breve adds up to 4, bar line goes in there. So, your worksheet you can download from the description box below. There are some big challenges for you on this one on dotted notes. So good luck and have fun.